Hey y'all, it's a deep voice author. I hope everybody had a good and productive day. Go ahead and check out my book, Psycho Chick, based off a crazy ass chick I was dealing with. If you only swipe left, maybe all that could have been avoided. But I'll leave the link in the description to that and Edward's Reprisal. Also be on the lookout for my upcoming project, Club Voluptuous, which is like 4 times longer than Psycho Chick. And a bit more meaningful, all type of social undertones for the youth. Get people, around my age and down to really thinking about how, our brains and our minds have been engineered, as younger black folks in America and Western society. But I'm gonna go ahead and jump into the topic. It's her body. Should it really be her choice? On the topic of abortion, since it's her body, in my opinion, I think it should be her choice. This is why I can never be a hard Republican or Democrat. There's policies from each side that I agree with and policies I don't agree with. Like I said in the last video, I'm definitely pro-gun and for the Second Amendment. But as far as pro-life, I definitely understand the moral ideology behind that. It's definitely commendable, altruistic outlook that everybody, should have a chance to live. I understand that. At the same time, a woman, the laws now, here in Texas, it's like, even if the woman was a victim of rape or incest, they still have to have the baby once a heartbeat is detected, which is crazy. You know what I mean? Who really wants to give birth to somebody, where the seed is from some bastard who raped them, or, whether it was a relative or whoever, in that case, I think they should be able to abort the child. Also people say, oh, well, CPS, there's foster care. If you know anything about the CPS system, then the CPS system in foster care is rampant with physical and sexual abuse. That's why a lot of kids that come out of foster homes, they come out messed up, juvenile delinquents, this and that, from having such a rough and unloved background, bouncing from home to home. It's really not healthy for a kid's psyche. Granted, of course, you do have some that end up in, happily, happy homes, with a good family. Shout out and many blessings to the foster parents, who know they're doing the right thing, treat their kid with nothing but love, or, their foster kid with nothing but love like it was their own. I commend that. But foster care is not going to be the answer, or it's not going to be a great viable option for a lot of kids that will be born in this situation. A lot of them, unfortunately, the way the system is, you look at statistics, they're bound to be victims of abuse, whether it's physical, sexual. So, we need to stop acting like foster care is always going to be, just a viable, good option for these children. Sometimes, the parents are indigent, they can't really afford a kid. So, a woman or couple might be homeless, and or on the verge of being homeless in this situation. So should they bring a kid in this world? That's something that you got to think about. So on the subject of pro-life or pro-choice, in certain situations, man, I think that the woman should have the right to, go ahead and do what she has to do. Go ahead and abort. It might sound bad, but like I say, you just got to look at it. You can bring a kid into this world, but if you're anybody of morale, or common sense, I'll say common sense, you want to bring the kid into, a healthy, happy environment. One where you can afford to feed the kid, clothe the kid, all that. So if you're really struggling, then Should you really bring the kid into the world? You know. So that's my stance on abortion. But just something to think about. I know I saw a bunch of women, I want to say 4th of July, up here by one of the courthouses downtown, and there was just a whole bunch of them, you know, with posters chanting "My body, my choice, my body, my choice." You know, there's women of like all races, a whole bunch of Caucasian women out there, some black ones, Hispanic, all that. You know, I understand where they're coming from. It's their body, so it should be their choice. You know what I mean? And the type of situation like I described, I mean, should they really go through that, having the baby and having to put the baby through those type of things? But all right, you know, that's just my 2 cents on it. Y'all have a blessed one.